Hey everybody, I have a job to do today and I'm a little nervous about it, but gotta do it. I got this Meyer Lemon tree a couple years ago and it had a bunch of baby fruit on it when I got it, so I didn't prune it. Then once all the fruit was picked, I forgot to prune it again, and then once I remembered there was more fruit coming on. You see where we're going here. So the tree is actually in really bad shape in terms of structure. Plus, it hasn't grown much in 2 years, even though it produces tons of fruit for its size. But something has to be done, and this is the time. The fruit is ripe and ready to pick. I'm going to be taking it out of the pot and planting it over here next to these apples that I have espaliered. And I'm going to espalier the lemon tree as well. And it's a great space saver, especially for a tree that produces so much fruit on so few branches. Espalier, if you haven't heard of that, it's just this way of growing fruit. And you can grow it in different patterns, but right against a wall to produce a lot of fruit in a very small amount of space. I don't have a ton of space, so I want to fit as much in as possible, and this is a great way to fit fruit trees in. First things first though, I need to pick the lemons that are on here. So I want to turn this into an espalier, but I'm not sure exactly how to do it because I didn't start it out that way. And so I've got these branches kind of growing all haphazard. And none of them are growing in a line, so it may be something. I really don't want to have to cut all this 2 years worth of good growth off, so it may be I want to try to just kind of slowly train some of these bigger branches into the way I want them to be. So right now I'm just going to cut out some of the stuff that I know I'm going to be taking out, and then we'll see what we have left. So I've got now this branch coming up and the main 2 lines coming out this way. I'll be able to train. Now, what to do with this? I kind of want to get this main branch trained straight up. And that might work actually. So I'm going to take out, I think, this whole piece. Oh, I hate to do it, but here goes. And I think that means taking this one out as well. Alright, so, yeah, and these also. Kills me to do this, but I have to think about the future, how this is gonna, it's not gonna grow like I wanted ever. I should have done this a long time ago, but oh well. So now I'm gonna slowly, over the next few months, train that into a straight position. So I just have to kind of imagine it growing up here. And I want 2 branches going out to the side. So that's gonna be these 2. I'll take off this back one. do it. Let's see. Okay. It's a little weird, but I think once I have it onto the trellis, it might be okay, actually. I can give it a better pruning at that point. So I dug a hole a little bit bigger than the root ball, and I have amended the hole and the dirt I took out of the hole with some good organic compost. And now I'm going to plant it. I'm going to support the main trunk with a piece of rebar. Rebar is strong, it's sturdy, it's going to hold up to the weather forever. I've had probably this one piece here of rebar for 20 years, and it's going to be a nice central support for the main stem. And I'm going to take the wires from the apple trees that I had going along here, and I'm going to attach them to the rebar. And then these are going to continue on the same wires, the same guide wires that the apples have grown on. And now that I've got all those taken care of, I'm going to add in the new wires back over to this main support post. And that's going to give me a structure for the lemon tree's lateral branches to grow out along and to be supported all the way across both ways. Now what I've done here is I've taken some twine, doubled it up, and pulled this central stem so that it's parallel with that central piece of rebar. Now I'm going to work on, I've tied this one branch here, as you can see, all the way along to train it right down as long as that branch is, so it's perfectly horizontal to the ground. So I'm just using, I'm going to take this and tie it straight down all the way. It's probably going to take 2 or 3 ties. And I'm just using some regular garden twine. And there's a special way of doing this. You actually take the twine, you just wrap it around the stem only, cross it over itself, and then tie that, then cross it on both sides of the wire. And what you're doing here is you're creating a little tiny spacing, if you will, so that the branch doesn't rub on the twine. So if there's wind or just the growth of the branch happens, you're going to have that little bit of spacing there with a little bit of padding from that twine. So I'm just going to keep working here, tie the lateral branch all the way down to the end, and you don't want to tie it, really tight right against the wire. Give it a little bit of play there. Now what I'm going to do, I thought this was going to actually take a couple months to train, but it seems like it might work the first time. But I'm going to double this twine up, and I'm going to bring it up right parallel to this rebar. And so I'm going to pull it tight. I think I can make this work. Get it all the way up here so it's growing vertically straight right along the rebar. So it continues that that central trunk right on up. Tie it really well. Alright, so now that I've got the trunk really attached well to that rebar, I think it's going to be perfect. It's going to grow it straight up. Might be a little wave in it, but that's alright. And these second tier lateral branches are not as long, but throughout this next year they will get longer. So I'm just going to start the tying process now, and as those branches grow throughout the spring and the summer, I'm just going to, every couple weeks, every few weeks, as I see we've got maybe 4, 5, 6 inches of new growth, and it's kind of sticking up from the wire. I'm just going to come out, take some twine, and tie it down. So there you have it. Finished product. Doesn't look like much now, but I'll look forward to seeing how it grows, and I will definitely keep you guys updated. See you next time.